Yeah, I was watching Family Guy, and one of the new episodes. Yeah, I know. I forgot to press that record button twice, so you just lost like almost a minute of gold. But yeah, I was watching Family Guy. Speaking of butchered comedy and technical malfunctions and overall not being funny at all. But it was a new episode of Family Guy. I think from season 10 was Back to the Pilot.
Yeah.
You know that one?
A little bit.
It's where they Brian and Stewie traveled to the first episode of Family Guy.
Yeah, that one.
And there's some kind of clever jokes in there. Jokes about like the production early on, and like saying because there's a point where like they point out an animation error. It's like, oh, this always bugged me where Peter's eye goes over his nose, and it shows an actual animation error from the episode 1. And then there's a few clever jokes like that, but more overall, it's just kind of. I mean, it was also kind of interesting when they incorporated new footage in the old style Family Guy, where they're interacting with their past selves. They made it look pretty cool, and I wish that they did the whole series like that. But I guess it takes more work to whip up completely new computer model sheets for old-looking models, I guess.
Yeah.
It also reminded me of how less charming the new episodes are. Like I've mentioned before, how the early episodes had this certain like charm to it, yeah, and not nostalgic, but in the sense that it has this sort of innocence about it. Whereas compared to like Simpsons episodes at the time that were more cynical, but like it's kind of weird saying that how Family Guy, like the idea of even putting innocence in the same sentence as Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy always struck me as it always went for edgier jokes, but had a golden heart.
Yeah, I think that after a while that golden heart just sort of rotted away.
No, they sold the gold for hard cash.
Yeah. I would not recommend watching any episodes.
So what's the butcher joke?
This whole episode of the podcast, if we're going to be honest, because welcome to the Monkey Bar. This is what number is the episode today?
60.
69, bro. Yeah. Like, speaking of butcher jokes.
I'm going to open up my democratic responsibility or my diplomatic responsibility. I have a story to tell to open this.
About 69ing?
No. Hell no. I'm too tall to 69. Laser be fucking...
Well, I mean, like normally it's the guy who's on the bottom. So,
true,
but she would have to be like really stretch out. So
that's what I'm picturing. Like it's like a medieval torture device on her.
Oh yeah, she has to be in the what is that thing called?
The stretcher. I don't know.
No, that's not what it is. I know that it has like a name, but we'll get back to that.
Yeah, I'll put it in the fucking description. I'll look it up and send it to you on Discord.
But you were saying?
So I'm at Walmart with my grandmother. She's behind me. I'm pushing the cart. In front of me is a mother and her daughter, and she's going down the same direction. Being courteous, I turn the cart, So I reach up to grab something. Cart's middle of an aisle. Now some old fucking boomer Cro-Magnon's walking down the fucking aisle, sees my cart, doesn't go excuse me, doesn't say, hey, coming through, grabs it, shoves the cart as far as he can, turns, gives me a nasty look. My grandmother does, she lifts both her hands in a what the hell gesture. Guy says, move it, cunt, to my grandmother. And I say, the fuck you say about my grandmother? And I was seeing red. Mm-hmm. I'm not combative usually. Mm-hmm. I was about to chase this fucker down and show him my taekwondo don't know shit about fighting. Mm-hmm. And then I realized I don't want to get a netcast envious sued for assault. So I just let him off on a warning by going like, fuck off. Mm-hmm. And then I realized I did all this in front of a 5-year-old. Uh-huh. And then I turned, sorry. Mom went, it's fine. She's seen worse. She heard worse probably.
Well, I mean, I was about to say, like, if she's got her grandpa in front of her saying the C word.
Yeah. Dude, my heart was like pounding. Oh, I was mad. I had to like go home just de-stressed by like punching a log.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm sort of the same way when it comes to like, you insult my family. That like then I remember there was this one time where one of my brother's friends, she was like getting in my face, and like she's talking about like, oh, you're gonna call your mommy? And I'm like, don't you fucking like I was about to like punch her in the face. Like they're like that's probably the only time in my life where I was like close to punching somebody in the face. And
Respect women.
Yeah, it would have been like terrible if I would have felt terrible if like the first person I'd punched in my life was a woman. Like
God.
if it's a guy, then fine. But
Your proboscis nose shoots through the skull.
but I mean, if it was now though, I probably wouldn't care because
Yeah.
equal rights and lefts, as they say.
Yeah. God.
Yeah. Speaking of respecting women, you want to talk about the cam girl conspiracy controversy right now?
Yep. So Chatterbait,
Yeah.
is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I don't know about that website. Has a fucking AI cam girl.
Yeah. Or not actual AI, but it's a girl or possibly
VR thing.
Yeah, it's one of those VR Connect kind of things where it's.
It's a Connect.
I don't think so, but it's like a motion capture thing.
Oh god, I really honestly hope it's a big fat slimy fuck.
Yeah, but it's got like a girl's voice, so it might be his wife / niece / all the above. Or
That's fucking clever though.
it's called Melody Project with a KT, like Russian project.
Oh, I like that.
But yeah, like a lot of like there are a handful of cam girls getting upset over that. Like she's not real, blah blah blah. And
You're
it's,
real.
now it's like Thought Audit 2.0 right now, where it's
They should have them fight, and then like fucking like, and then they walk in there and fucking Ronda Rousey in her off time.
yeah. I looked into it. Just I don't win. I don't go Chairbait either, but it's I just looked at the profile and like she was performing and like there like you can see the chat room and it's just people spamming memes. There are a few Coomer memes in there, just Pepe's everywhere. So.
God, I just want to picture like the fucking cam girls must be. Do you know how angry I would be? Because they're weebs. The weebs are excited.
Yeah, I mean it's a whole new audience. People who probably wouldn't look at. Probably wouldn't even go on Chatterbait in the first place.
But then you have a second thing. Do you know how easy it'd be to pull off? I mean, to be honest, you don't need to get naked that much. You don't need to dress up.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to kawaii desu, yeah, voice. I don't know how she talks.
I mean, she talks like a regular person.
Oh, cool.
No, I mean, regular American person.
Cool.
I.e., a regular person.
Cool.
But there was like she was putting out a public statement that sort of like was exactly what you said. Like, yeah, there is no risk involved, so I don't want to feel like I'm above anyone else. She's going the humble routes to really rub it in to those hoes.
She's like Drake being humble.
Yeah.
Started from the bottom.
Yeah, the first thing I was thinking of when I was looking into this was that one meme of Brett Kavanaugh, like during the hearing, just like clenching his teeth, and the caption was, "It's over for you, hoes."
God. I'm sorry.
That reminds me of like stuff like the Ron Paul memes.
When I was a little kid, not little kid, but like when I first got into pornography, when the Coomer possessed me, I really thought cam sites were like the coolest idea ever. There was one that was called like Aperture Science, and I like, oh my god, a nerd. Mm-hmm. Then I realized she didn't even like this shit. She was just like, yeah, I'll fucking do it to like the companion cube if you like throw like 10 gold coins. It's like, oh, I did see a lady. Can I tell you my cam story I remember? Mm-hmm. So these two girls are getting like fucking snotched on campaign, right? Mm-hmm. And they had oil that they were doing on them. There was a fucking lit tiki torch next to them. You see where this is going. Mm-hmm. Now, they turned the camera off after you see arm got lit. I'm not sure she got her arm burned off last time I went on a cam site.
Yeah. Do you remember what your first hentai was?
Oh, fuck. Now, does it be first one I remember or first one that I...
Anything that comes to mind.
Evangelion shit. There was one that I'm pretty sure was someone just editing footage from Ava.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was like a doujin, like a manga thing. But
yeah.
No, it was animated?
Yeah, there's like one. I do remember reading a lot of doujin. Do you know what the thing was back in the day, though? I had a weird ship that I really liked. Mm-hmm. Kaoru and Asuka. What the fuck was up with that?
Yeah, you mentioned that, like they're not even in the same room together.
Yeah,
in the series.
But my kid was like, "Give Shinji the fucking whore. I was just gonna hit the white-haired guy." No. Before that, do you count hentai as just 2D art?
Yeah, anything. 2D.
Technically, Mortal Kombat. I remember getting Mortal Kombat. It was Melina and Scorpion. Because what happened was there was Mortal Kombat 9 did a thing where there was a whole arc in their challenge tower about Melina trying to seduce Scorpion, but it was like give him a teddy bear by punching him and he has to hold on to it for 30 seconds. So I looked up on Google Melina and Scorpion. Ooh, not a good idea.
Yeah. For me, I want to say my first one might have actually been the Titty Monster one. The Mega Milk, you know that meme?
As we talk, I'm gonna be looking it up. Just
look up Mega Milk, hentai or whatever. I mean, it's the one that got posted around in the mid 2000s, and I think that the meme to come out of it was "Shut the fuck up, you titty monster," which is actually I want to say it might have been. I don't know if that was my first one, but. It was one of the earliest ones I've read.
the term titty monster is great.
Yeah, and I think that's where that term originated from. Because I think I've seen it around here and there. First animated one, I want to say Bible Black. Just like not whole like whole episodes, but just clips of it. And I think if we're going to go back even further, it might have been Zone.
I probably saw some shit out of like Yuri crap when I was looking through what's this? What? When I found out pornography was a thing and there's whole websites of it, like my stepdad back in my day, we had to get like a tape in my dad's attic. So when I discovered there was type in Pornhub. No, you don't remember. So back in Spectrum, we had a classmate. We were all supposed to be on new ground, something like that. One of our classmates pulled up Pornhub. You're like, what's this? What's this? There's magic in the air.
I remember a similar story when I was in Spectrum, and one of the kids was pulling up AMVs of Elfen Lied on YouTube, with girls getting their arms cut off and everything.
Elfen Lied's interesting. I always think it. I wish I would have watched it, but there's a guy, really creepy dude, in my class was really into Elfen Lied.
You ever read or watched Gantz?
No,
because I think that's similar, and that it's like really horrible people doing horrible things to each other, but with a plot.
But is it a genre, just horrible people doing horrible things to the genre?
I mean, I don't know.
Or is that just a theme?
I feel like there's a name for that, but I can't think of it, and I'm probably just imagining it, honestly.
Oh, you know what's weird though about about early. You can tell the date that someone drew the hentai because you can tell the style.
No, I was just thinking that because I go on to one of the sites I go on to is Aristides for Rule 34, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I noticed that early on you can see where there's a very clear difference between 2000s art and current day
obviously
art.
There's differences technically, there's less shines, less.
I think it's more people scanning in their drawings and coloring it on the computer. I think that's probably it.
Yeah. I do remember one illustration that I'll never forget. It was Sub-Zero, but it was old Sub-Zero, the older version. So it's when he looked like a 40-year-old man with the mask on. He just had those old eyes. You know what I mean? Oh man.
I remember seeing one of Orville Redenbacher.
I remember the weirdest one ever. You remember that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I mean, yeah, well, it's not really anything more to that. It's just I was going through the section on Encyclopedia Germanica, and one of them was it was just the face of Orville Redenbacher traced onto this him naked or something. It's the weirdest thing. And at the time, it was psychologically scarring, but I'm okay now.
What is
I can look back on it and laugh.
Weirdest. Just two characters, not weirdest subject. It's weirdest mix of characters you ever saw.
Because
I can probably top you.
I mean, I can porn or not porn.
Porn.
I want to say the first thing I think of is that one picture of SpongeBob pregnant next to Shrek.
So I was on Rule 34, and we do the random things. It was. Do you know Florida from Maude? She's an old sitcom character. Florida, black
I know
lady.
Maud. I don't remember them.
Florida was a character who showed up once in a while.
Okay, sure.
It's her being fucked by Reptar. And I'm like, what? No!
I mean, it's the name of the rule is if it exists, there is porn of it.
Oh, by the way, there's a shit ton of Soul Calibur porn,
Yeah.
but not a lot of Astaroth. Astaroth mains are sad.
Speaking of old internet, that reminds me of I saw on Netflix that documentary "Don't Fuck with Cats," and it's about that guy who. I mean, I think it's about the guy who threw the cat into the oven with Doom music. You know about that?
Oh.
Nedim, not even Doom music. It's about, or it's like a similar incident. It's like somebody killing a cat, and there's a guy, like one of the guys who saw that on 4chan, just like tracked the guy down and started like just trying to ruin his life.
You don't fuck with animals
I mean,
in
yeah,
my book.
don't fuck with cats. And they cite, and apparently, because I actually heard about this on one of the episodes, Only Plays that went up not too long ago. They were saying how they show like not the graphic parts, but like bits and pieces of stuff like three guys, one hammer, or one guy, one ice pick. I don't know about that other one, but yeah, it just takes me back to like the shock sites, that kind of stuff.
Oh my god, I didn't see many of the bad shock sites like that.
Yeah.
But but I saw the weird STD ones. And I showed it to my mom because she's a nurse. She's like, oh, I've seen that all the time.
I mean, they showed those in health class to me.
Yeah, my mom can't be phased, unless it's like someone fucking dying. I don't think you can phase her.
Right.
No, wait, now I remember the one that got her. It was actually, can I tell you one of my shock? I didn't need to see a shock site. My grandma was an EMT instructor, an EMS instructor. Mm-hmm. I went with her when she was getting her renewals done. Mm-hmm. And I got to see, it's photos of, they called it unusual traumatic cases, i.e. training so you don't go, what the fuck? And one of these was a man pissed on an electric fence, not realizing it was an electric fence. Mm-hmm. It fried his dick off. Mm-hmm. But yes, on to happier subjects like, two guys, one hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't actually think I've seen any of the like the really graphic stuff on the internet. I think I just knew to avoid that just for the sake of my own psyche. I do remember seeing like some pictures on Encyclopedia Germanica, like the page they have on being offended, and if you scroll down far enough, then they start showing like the really graphic stuff, like guys with like their heads like caved in with like axes or stuff like that. I think like some of those were fake. I don't know. They're probably not, but maybe.
That's what I always thought about early internet. Early internet was like a weird, surreal place of, is it real? Is it not?
It was a Wild West, basically. It was kind of like the sideshow carnivals where, you know, is it really a cat or is it really a Siamese twin cats, or is it like one cat like glued with a paper mache next to it or whatever?
You've just summed up what I think 4chan really is. 4chan is just a bunch of carnies. Mm-hmm. Some carnies like to gamble. That's TG. Some like to fuck.
Yeah. I mean, how long that's going to last now that Tumblr's migrating into it, we don't know.
Oh, they're going to get fucking Now, there's some cool Tumblrs. They're going to get fucking eaten.
Yeah. Makes me wonder if there are going to be, you know, new sites that pop up, or if this is just it.
There will be new sites. And these new sites will rise. I don't believe there will ever be an end to some sites. Mm-hmm. I believe that there will be like a time.
I mean, look at MySpace, though. That's a site that's pretty much ended.
How long did it last?
I want to say late 90s to mid 2010s.
True.
I think it might have been ended earlier than that. It's still up technically, but it's like Tumblr, where it's like nobody really uses that anymore.
I sort of see a lot of internets like how a lot of scientists see giant animals. Mm-hmm. That there will be a time when fucking dinosaurs died out and there will be the mammoth, then fucking humans come up. But you see my point, where there will always be the cycle of extinctions and revivals.
Yeah. Makes you think about, there's a line in Star Trek Next Generation where they're talking about how, you know, television stopped being a thing in the 2050s. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, you know, it's probably going to end next decade. To be honest, if we're looking at the internet and streaming services,
God.
or at least cable will be like that. It'll be that defunct.
You know what I remember when I got cable, when my mom got cable for the first time? She was so excited. Mm-hmm. Now she doesn't even have cable. She just has fucking like Netflix.
Yeah. You just have those things that you plug into the TV, the Fire Stick,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Oh, by the way, I'm kind of hooked on Disney Plus because Mandalorian.
Eh.
You know, I like being able to. I'm sorry. I just like how it's interesting streaming services. Netflix kind of sucks now, is what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
I think it's like going to an empty fridge.
Yeah, there's some stuff on there.
Yeah.
Like I've been watching Hunter x Hunter on it.
Yeah. I need to watch that.
Yeah, but again, it's mostly just scraps right now in between the good stuff.
They don't even have a Funimation dub of Ava, which is my big issue.
Yeah.
Give me a choice of dubs. If it offered choice of dubs, it would be like a fine restaurant, but now it's like someone that I used to know.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't have to cut. I was about to say, yeah. It's probably like the worst track on that album, but it's actually still a good track, and it's a really great album. I recommend. That's Making Mirrors is the album. There are actually some really good songs on that, and I think that if I'm not mistaken, at like Gautier's channel, he put up like a music video for each of the tracks on that album. And the one for the end track actually looks like it's fully animated in 2D, and it almost looks like a Studio Ghibli film, or it's at least inspired by stuff like Princess Mononoke.
You know, I think would be an interesting idea would be to use like a Studio Ghibli style animation, but for like a really violent God of War style game, or like Doom, but with that animation style.
Yeah, so that would be it'd be great if Ni no Kuni 3 went that route, just like completely grimdark.
No, and you're playing it, and then at the very end, every level you get a new weapon. Until the final level, you're the God Warrior.
Yeah.
Okay, I like the God Warrior. But God Warrior fucking stuck with me. Because it's hard to get that image out of my head. It's just...
Yeah.
It's almost Godzilla level cool. Like Godzilla versus the God Warrior from Nausicaa.
Mm-hmm.
Probably he would lose.
Speaking of video games, I finally finished Kingdom Hearts 3.
How'd you like it?
I mean, I was gonna say, you know, it's the ending is not that great, but at least it's an ending. But even then, it's like
Sequel bait.
Yeah, it's there. Like I didn't realize it was gonna be that much sequel bait at the end.
Well, how is that?
It ends basically with a cut to black with Sora like just going off to find his friends yet again, and it just like then like basically it shows like him go off and then it cuts to black. I mean, there's more to it than that, but yeah, it's I know that last time I said I was gonna like revisit the first Kingdom Hearts game after I finished Kingdom Hearts 3, but I don't know. I want to wait like a few months just because it's so mentally exhausting, you know.
Speaking of games, I have Game Pass. I wanted to try out Sea of Thieves. I fucking love it.
Mm-hmm. Really?
It's actually really good. You know why? Because when you have was there a lot of negative criticism around it when it first came out?
A lot of what?
Negative criticism around Sea of Thieves? That there was a lot.
Yeah, like saying, you know, it feels like an alpha and that kind of stuff.
They kind of fixed that because I came in, it's fucking like 2 years after it came out now.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Well, I have to say what makes the game work is, I'm sorry, since you gave a game review, I'm giving my quick 5-minute game review. It's the only game where I go, hey, look, there's another player. Fuck, it's another player. Because they literally make it Sea of Thieves. You will be robbed, pillaged, and killed. Like, it is probably my favorite pirate game ever made, even better than Black Flag. Because you can actually do the ship.
Actually, is a pirate level and Pirates of the Caribbean level in Kingdom Hearts 3, where it's kind of fun. It's really bare bones, though.
You know,
it makes me think of the first one. I think of when it comes to pirate games is the level in Sly Cooper 3.
Oh,
that is a great one.
Speaking of Pirates of the Caribbean, I never realized how much I fucking love those movies, like the good ones.
So the first two.
Yeah, some parts of the other one. What is the third one called?
Third one is At World's End.
I kind of like parts of that one, but I love something really, really cool about the about you know how the character Calypso is the crab thing. There's all this little subtle plays with symbolism in the film that I really love, and I fucking love Davy Jones in that movie. Fucking Davy Jones is such a great character when they used him. Like I recently rewatched some of the old clips, and have you ever seen how well these effects hold up on Davy Jones? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it really is impressive.
Yeah, like the part that gets me though with the symbolism is he's the octopus, she's the crab. Octopuses are predators of crabs, right? But he's still got the claw to show that he's still loyal to her in the end. Which I thought was a cool touch.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what else is on the list?
I think that's about it. Like, yeah, I know that our 69th episode, we should be talking about sex and how much sex we're getting. But no, not really. Not happening in this show.
Nope.
Let me think. What else was I going to talk about?
If we make it to the 420th episode, we have to get blazed for
we're not going to make it that far. I'll be happy if we make it to 100, which we probably will.
Plot twist.
If neither of us dies, we're making it to 100.
I'm sorry, you triggered my trap card. Can I tell you about my secret fear I discovered? I discovered I have megalophobia, fear of big things. I had to go to Cleveland. I've been through Cleveland in a car. I never walked around Cleveland. I don't like skyscrapers. I looked up and I'm like, fuck this shit. And then I realized why I don't like horses, because horses are fucking big, and why I don't like camels, because they're fucking big. And why I probably wouldn't like elephants.
Yeah. Well, that's the alpha part of your brain. It's like you hate things that are bigger than you. Anything that's bigger than me must be destroyed.
It's like a Reagan smash from Family Guy.
Yeah.
God.
But speaking of death, you hear about the story of this woman who had her daughter resurrected in VR?
Oh no!
It's like I think it's America where this company funded this project to this woman's daughter died, 8-year-old daughter died. So then they recreated her daughter virtually in VR for her to be reunited with her, and that's just like the creepiest fucking thing, isn't it?
That's fucking cyberpunk shit.
I mean, it's what makes me rage is that. The same people who will look at the Melody Project and be like, "Oh, that's disgusting, sex." They'll look at the a woman's daughter being brought back from the dead
with a single tear in their eye.
Yeah, and be like, oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, I'm sharing that on Facebook. It's like
Melody and that daughter are the same entity.
Oh, plot twist, yeah.
I have this sort of idea that all internet VR entities are basically the same thing in concept. It is basically a golem, homunculus.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Tay in Melody's body.
Oh my god!
Yes, remember Tay?
Tay Sunday?
Tay, the AI, the Microsoft one.
Oh no!
Yeah, that people got turned into a racist Nazi creature.
She walks into a full Nazi stripper outfit.
And then she's like a space marine in the armor.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Birds, Xeno scum.
Yeah, donate and I'll put more armor on.
God.
All the Warhammer fans are just jacking off as each plate gets added.
Oh
to the
my
layer.
god! You remind me of one of my favorite jokes about War. There's a faction in Warhammer called the Death Corps of Krieg, or the Death Corps of Krieg, haha. And one of the jokes is that they are basically the German, French, Nazi World War I look. And when they want to flirt with each other, what they do is they lift up their armor and show off the boots. Because they live on a highly irradiated... God. You know how you get Warhammer fans, how you get them to jack off? Here's what you do. Show a picture of Matt Ward, not being in Warhammer. Show a picture of him being fired. Matt Ward's the guy who basically... He invented the term spiritual liege. Because he got the right for it, so he made his favorite factions the faction that all others are based on. He's almost as bad as a guy who, they have a guy who only likes playing tank armies. So guess what they had him play, or write the books for?
What?
The armies that don't have fucking tanks. So he made them as weak as possible because he doesn't like playing them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my Warhammer came out.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are like Warhammer, you know about Warcraft 3?
Oh my fucking god. How is Blizzard not being burned at the stake?
Yeah, I mean, didn't they just blame their fans for the backlash or something?
They not only blame their fans, did you hear about the mod thing?
Yeah, they technically own all the mods that their fans come up with.
If you told me that, I'm going to have to... Their owner is going to have to come to their house with a pack of lawyers and fight me in the woods. My god. That shit just drives me up a wall.
Yeah.
I understand. No, they shouldn't own the mods.
Yeah.
Because they're going to sell it in D&D. Best old Blizzard.
And I remember playing Warcraft 3 when, I think about 10 years ago, actually, I was playing it.
It's not even good looking. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't look as good as the... I mean, the new one doesn't look as good as the alpha they promised, the trailer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's another thing people are...
Warcraft 3 is a good game, right?
It's been a while since I played it, so I don't know. And I didn't get that far in it either, so...
I prefer RTSs that don't have a lot of base building because I'm a fucking scrub.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I have to say about Warcraft 3. I mean, I'm pretty much done with... I mean, I've been playing Overwatch again, just to pass time, I guess. I'm not really that invested in it. I'm probably not going to buy Overwatch 2 either.
Overwatch 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, Overwatch 2, PvE for $60.
Fucking god, that just gives me an aneurysm.
Yeah. Speaking of expansions that are going to cost $60, but also Anthem is getting an overhaul.
Oh my!
Like they're gonna,
I heard that. I saw it was doing really good. We're like, if you're talking about fucking BioWare, right? Like, is it possible Mass Effect is getting something new? And I'm like, fuck!
No, we're just gonna try and fix this game that was broken when it came out and nobody likes.
Oh, like,
I mean, people are pointing to No Man's Sky doing kind of the same thing, but the AAA studios are not Hello Games. Or Hello Games is is people who left the AAA industry because the AAA industry kept fucking that kind of shit up.
my god, I'm sorry. I get angry over shit like, what they're doing.
Yeah.
You think it was planned, the whole idea, make a really, really fucked up game, then fix it?
I'm tempted to say yes, but I don't think so.
Probably not a fuck up that bad.
Yeah, it sounds like they were under a lot of crunch during the end. Or most of the development, at least, and people just didn't know what the hell they were doing.
As much jokes as we make about Bethesda, do you know what it must be like in EA's office? I can only picture Sauron's tower at the fucking eye. And, if you have, money, the eye shoots a laser at you and sucks some dollar bills into it.
I mean, if I had to choose between what we have now and having, 5 companies like Bethesda instead of, BioWare, EA, and that stuff, I would choose everything Bethesda. Because they at least try to make good games. I've mentioned that before.
Yeah, Bethesda tries.
They actually have, this drive behind them,
When Todd Howard speaks, when I see his mouth opens, I see the little alien piloting him talking.
Yeah. He's the kind of guy who actually wants to make good games. There's a reason that he wants you to buy Skyrim is because
it's a good game.
Yeah, it actually is a good game.
Yeah,
and people like me.
There's a reason I play it.
Yeah, yeah. And say what you will about the special edition or whatever with the shiny water or whatever. That makes it so most of the mods don't work anymore. And then the creative, the
Creation
Club, yeah. I mean, that's mostly just stuff to bypass, and it's more of a roadblock than anything. I think that Bethesda deserves more credit. I don't think that they deserve so many people shitting on them all the time. EA deserves most of that shit.
Oh, when I shit on Bethesda, it's a little rabbit pellet. When I see EA is the one company that just fucking grinds my gears next to Blizzard.
You know what really grinds my gears? EA. I hate their video games, and they stink.
I
Yeah.
God, my
It all
mom.
comes back to Family Guy, doesn't it?
My mom, part of the reason why her divorce really made her feel better because in the last couple days, my sister's boyfriend realized that my stepdad looked like Tom, or my stepdad Tom looked like Peter Family Guy. So she would call him, or call my mom and go, nah, hey, Kelly, nah, Kelly, and do shit like that. And my mom started losing sleep because she realized she fucking married Peter from Family Guy in real life. But he's the later seasons Peter, the asshole one.
Oh yeah. You ever seen real life Peter Griffin?
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, he's he sounds exactly like Peter Griffin, and he looks like him too. So
Do you? I just love. I hope as a creator that happens to me. Some fucking guy walks in with an axe in his head. Oh man, I got a fucking axe in my head. Would you like a job, sir? What? Would you like a job? Smokes. Axe in the head, real life
okay,
guy.
yeah.
That's a really dumb joke that no one will get, but like.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. If you want to like cycle into creative stuff for a minute,
Sure.
I've been like struggling to get back to the comic. It's been about, as of right now, it's been about like 2 months since my weekly comic went up, and only one issue has gone up since then. I don't know. I've just been trying to get back to it. Art is hard when it comes to that. Being on a schedule, being on and working for yourself too. I think that I don't know. It's just been difficult for me for the last month or so.
I've been sort of in a depressive slump. Sometimes you just get one of those funks.
Yeah, it's the Ohio weather this time of year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those funks. It's been hard to stick. But I did decide that I am going to fucking draw the characters of Dunwall, the ones that matter, the ones who won't die in one issue.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the issues that I'm having is I decided, even if I'm not writing it, I'm going to make like a lexicon of characters, the ones that are most important, basically the recurring cast.
Mm-hmm.
The Quagmire to my Family Guy. Meh.
Yeah.
I do also... I just remember the one name that I think I'm most proud of, Harry with an H, because that's based on a real coworker of mine. I'm Harry with an H. But he never elaborated. I like to imagine the name is spelled H. Harry.
Uh-huh. Like with 2 H's?
Yeah.
Ah.
Or perhaps Ha Harry. Or, there's like Harry, but it's hidden.
Yeah.
Or perhaps his mother was Cockney and I always called her Ari. Ari, get over here before I whoop your ass.
Hey, Harry. Get over.
I wonder how accents would be like in the future, like 1,000 years from now.
Oh, that's a good question.
Imagine what the fuck it'd sound like in Scotland.
Yeah. Reminds me, I need to watch Idiocracy. That sounds like something, like a concept they probably explore in the movie. I know, I just know, like, have cursory knowledge of some of the jokes, but I just want to watch the movie for myself. They probably have it here at the library. You think?
I think so. I haven't watched it. So I need to stretch my back.
Yeah. I don't want to give away any of the jokes in it because, well, I haven't seen it. So, yeah, it's a movie that's you gotta watch to become a good artist, according to SWC. Yeah, they did an episode on that, and yeah, their channel's been growing recently.
That's good.
And so is ours. We actually got 2 new subscribers recently.
Hey, y'all fucking rock. You're cool.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's 1. And I got 2 followers on Twitter from some fan art I posted.
Well, you're still cool.
Yeah, I'm cooler than you or whatever.
You're cooler than half of you and one of me.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want everybody to know that I'm not tired. I'm just butchering these jokes on purpose because I said at the beginning that this is going to be an episode about butcher jokes.
Yep. Oh my god. You ever see the Leroy Jenkins episode of Family Guy?
I've seen that clip. Yeah.
What the fuck is the point behind that joke in an episode of Family Guy?
Yeah.
Who would fucking get it?
I mean, I want to say that the writer's room of Family Guy at this point is just people going, fuck it, every other joke.
I just like imagine there's like a giant fucking opium thing where they're like a hookah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like an Arabic camel in the background, like it looks like an Arabian Night set.
Yeah. I mean, like I was saying about the Back to the Pilots episode, there are points where you can see them at least trying a little bit.
And then they'd never try it again.
Yeah, or they'll try like once every season, maybe. if they feel like it.
What if they make a one really good season and then all the characters get killed off forever? What? No more comebacks.
That would be neat. I mean, it sort of goes back to what I was saying about how I wish that they'd get Hideki Anno to direct a full season, like the last season of Family Guy.
Can I tell you how I would picture that, please? Mm-hmm. It would open like, I just want to picture fucking Shinji. Not Shinji, like fucking Peter doing the, getting the fucking Ava. Who would be Shinji? Not Stewie. He would be
probably Chris.
Yeah, Chris. Mm-hmm. I just want to picture. So Lois is the Unit 1, of course.
Uh-huh. I mean, she sort of has the same profile if you think about it.
I hate you so much because I have to draw that now. Because I'm sorry, I see it now. Just she had a weird nose always.
Yeah. Well, I remember one of the early seasons that had like Peter taking like a sandwich wedge while imitating her up to his face.
Yeah.
I'm Lois.
Oh my god. Also, you could have like one of the angels be. All the angels are based on the Friends.
Oh, yeah.
And then the final scene cuts to Chris covered in blood, and he's just on a giant meth rage. Mm-hmm. And he walks over to Peter, who's in the corner. Kill! Kill! Kill!
It's actually a good Chris, yeah.
I hate the fact I do a good Chris.
Kill! 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 Yeah, think of that. Have you watched any of the episodes of Venture Brothers yet?
I used to like it. I never watched it all in order.
Okay.
I really liked Monarch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have the book here. If you want to.
I remember looking at it a little bit. Mm-hmm. I want to watch it and fully to appreciate it.
Yeah, it's really good. I know we did a whole episode about it a while back, and I did probably one of my favorite thumbnails we did of that too.
I had a dumb idea for do you know what? I wanted to do, Skunk Rock, right? Mm-hmm. If I ever do Skunk Rock, I had the idea that I want to do it, the covers in the style of 1960s comics. Mm. But I want to cycle back to the creative process because I remember this because you got me thinking about the Ventures. Because when they show the actual Venture Brothers, they show them in the style of like the 60s or when the cartoon when they came out. Mm-hmm. I had the idea of Skunk Rock changing the story from being epic villain stories to just like villains on their off time being the comedy. Mm-hmm. Sort of like, you get what I'm saying? Like the humor of it being, but it would be like the cover of like a Jack Kirby style composition, but it's Skunk Rock at the DMV going like, what the fuck do you mean that my van can't get, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, sir. You can't legally have a Gatling gun in the city. Mm-hmm. Shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not too far off from actual comic book covers from that era. Like the first thing I think of is one of Superman eating the pile of hamburgers.
I do have
like Superman in line at the DMV. That's not exactly too far out for like 60s comic covers.
And the one that I also want to, you ever see the picture on Reddit of the guy in the gas mask with them? Gas mask, no shirt, grabbing onto the two pillars on the fence.
I think so, yeah.
My friend basically found every picture of a gas mask related to a meme he could and sent it to me one time, so I could make a cover called Giant-Sized Skunk Rock. It was for an inside joke thing.
Speaking of comics, I was actually I was looking up the Golden Age Superman comics, specifically like the first couple Action Comics issues. It's kind of interesting. I like going back through stuff like that because I remember looking at the original Spider-Man comics, Amazing Fantasy, and then the original Stan Lee and Steve Ditko comics, and how like different they were back then. I mean, obviously, it's been like Superman's almost 100 years old now, so. But it is interesting to see, like imagine where it could have gone in all these different directions.
I liked the idea of Superman. Wasn't he originally like not to have powers and was smart?
Well, he originally didn't have the power to fly. He could like jump really high, but I like how like vague it is sort of at the beginning to where and it also has him like beat up politicians and stuff. Like one of the first things is that he beats up a wife beater it's like he gets the news of like.
Did you know that the radio show that gave him the weakness to kryptonite also exposed secrets about the Klan, the Ku Klux Klan, and is a big reason of why they basically became so publicly reviled? Because a lot of the stuff they did was kept secret.
Huh. Yeah, I think that I heard. Was it a comic that came out of Superman and the Klan?
Yep, and so did Black Panther beating up the Klan.
Right.
I think in that case that every comic needs an issue beating up the Klan. You even need to have like a racial focused comic. Just have the Klan show up in one scene.
Remember the Westboro Baptist Church?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still active.
Yeah, but they're not as much as they were like back when they first were at the height of their infamy, I guess.
Yeah.
I think Michael Moore and I guess 4chan to an extent like sort of made them fall back. And also the death of Fred Phelps.
God. Okay, I want to have like a parody of the Westboro Baptist Church, but they're against superheroes. Superheroes die, Jesus smile.
Yeah, I think nowadays that might be like about the right time, because if it was like last decade, then that would probably be like, oh, that's kind of an outdated meme. But I think that there is like a window between, when it's relevant and when it's historical. So where I think that like when it's like a historical thing, it's probably like 20 years after it's relevant.
Interesting.
Because I look at Rage Comics.
Oh, hello.
I think that Rage Comics are sort of becoming a thing again, or like I'm starting to see them again, because I saw this one of where it's like Warhammer art, but it's like copy pasted like modern memes with modern memes are like the orcs or the faction against the Imperium, and then the old ones are the Imperium. And it's like
I'm just so happy that you called it the Imperium.
Is that what they're called?
Yes, okay. I'm happy.
Yeah, I thought, yeah. But and like so on one side you have like the Doomer and Zoomer memes, the Wojak stuff, and on the other side it's like the Rage Comics.
Yeah, I kind of miss Rage Comics a little bit. They were cringe, but I kind of liked them.
You remember Dick Figures?
Dick Figures?
It was like the animated Rage Comics.
Oh yeah.
I saw Rebel Taxi did a video on that. I haven't watched it yet, but I mean I want to brace myself before I like.
Oh, you got me hooked on Super Eye Patch Wolf. He started showing up in my feeds. I'm like, damn.
No, he's amazing. Yeah, I like him.
I saw his video on fake martial arts.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the most recent one. I'd recommend like basically all of his videos. I mentioned on Twitter because I saw like this post saying, are there any YouTube channels that you like drop everything just to watch? And Eye Patch Wolf is probably on that list. Yeah, I mentioned that's the only one I mentioned. And there are a few others like Nakey Jakey. I'll drop everything to watch his videos. Video Game Donkey. And a few others.
Is there any YouTuber that you like? Like, do you disagree with any of them on stuff?
With Eye Patch Wolf, there are like sometimes where I disagree with him. And I think Video Game Donkey. I think there's been a few things. Well, I mean, actually, when going back to Kingdom Hearts and his review of Kingdom Hearts 3, he gave it a 1 out of 5. And initially, I was like, it's more of a 2 out of 5 game. But now that I've finished it, it's definitely a. I think it's closer to a 1 than a 2, yeah, for me.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry, dog.
Like, Kingdom Hearts 3, and I don't say this about a lot of video games, but it's one of the few video games where I feel like I've completely wasted my time playing it. I mean, I can say that about, like, probably a handful of games I've played over the years. I want to say No Man's Sky, but I don't know if that counts because there really isn't a end the story. I guess what I mean is when I say wasted my time, it's like I'm referring to like an end of the video game, an end of the story. And I can't really think of anything else that's...
I like roguelikes, but roguelikes have no ending.
Yeah, like if it's procedurally generated, then there really isn't an ending to it.
Some guy saying, I can't finish Dwarf Fortress, there's no ending. I'm sorry.
I can't really think of any other video games where I felt like the story just wasted my time, or like where it felt like so miserable to complete or so empty that just by the end I'm like, God, what was the point of that? And I see that's still on your screen.
God, I need be gone, titty monster.
Yeah, shit, you titty monster.
Oh no, damn. Sorry.
What else was I gonna? Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3 sucks. Basically, what I was gonna.
Yeah, like, you know what's really cool though? I watch a lot of YouTubers. One of them did a really class act. I watched Dead Meat. He does the horror things. There was a school. It was during one of the school shootings. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, it was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, that one.
It was the most recent one, I think. But he was doing a horror film that takes place at a high school. And what he did was, before the video, he actually gave a, hey, given current events, I think this might make people uncomfortable. And I'm like, damn, he did a class act with that. Granted, most horror fans are actually like, oh man, that's cool. But like, I thought that was a real class act how he did it.
Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't have done it. I probably just would have left it there. I mean, I'm just kind of like...
He could have left it fine, but I mean, still.
I mean, yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter. None of this matters. You're on YouTube. It doesn't really matter.
Also, a person in the D&D group I follow made something. He made a D&D spell called Ball of the Black Mamba. A Kobe Bryant spell. Unfortunately, if you yell Kobe, it does not have a +1 to the spell's effect.
Oh, speaking of... God, my brain just short-circuited. I was going to talk about Kurt Eichenwald. Remember him?
Vaguely.
Now he got caught for looking at hentai.
Yes.
And they said, "Oh, I was just showing it to my wife and kids." Like that makes it worse. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. What?
You remember seeing? I remember Internet Historian's video on it.
He did what on it?
Yeah.
Oh my God! What is this excuse? Oh, well, you see, it's.
And he does a reading of the comic, and it shows Kurt Eichenwald and Tucker Carlson's face censoring the naughty parts.
Oh my God!
Curtis-san, could it be that you hate me? Oh no.
You ever see a Sundance Reject video?
Oh yeah.
Fucking love those.
Yeah, you know what? It reminds me of a lot of his stuff. Reminds me of Terry Gilliam's animations, especially the beginning of the Reddit memes one.
Yeah.
Where it's like the Back to the Future car crashing into the museum. That reminds me a lot of Terry Gilliam's stuff, and it makes me wonder like how much of his work influenced just how like these After Effects animations get done, or if it's just like by osmosis, maybe, because I don't think that a lot of these After Effects animators are directly inspired by the Monty Python animations.
But it still helps. Like,
Yeah.
I still see. I only recently really got into Monty Python. Holy fucking shit, is it funny?
Yeah, they're like the Beatles of comedy, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it was around the same time, so I'll put that out there.
Yeah. By the way, I didn't realize how much nudity there was in some of the sketches.
Oh yeah. I mean, I only watched it on TV, so they might have like cut that stuff out.
Yeah, but there's a couple of them where like the joke is he walks in there. There's one where they had one skit I think they cut where the whole joke is the guy's going for couples counseling and the dude just wants to fuck his wife.
Oh, yeah.
And he walks out and meets a cowboy. Go in there. Meets a knight.
Is that from Meaning of Life?
No.
Okay, it was in the TV, right?
Yeah, it's just from a TV show.
I thought that I remembered something like that happening in Meaning of Life. There were a lot of nude scenes in the Meaning of Life. I remember that. Like the one I always think of is the sex education one, where it's like the priest teaching his students like about sex ed. And this naked woman comes in and he lays around the bed. And he's like, "Okay, all right, kids, like what?" Like, or no, it's like before that, and he's like, "What? Okay, what is the thing that you should do first?" And then they're like, "The clitoris, sir." No, not the clitoris. You give her a kiss. Now, before we all go stampeding toward the clitoris, and it's like,
God, you know what I like about them? I just love how they've got this sort of like almost Venom tone sometimes.
Yeah.
Not venomous, but like, you know what I mean?
it's the British style
Yeah.
of humor. Yeah.
God,
Didn't one of them die recently?
I think so.
Yeah, I can't remember which one. Not Eric Idle. It was one of the others.
Yeah.
A really, really unforgettable guy. There's also a joke that was in Monty Python, I think. But anyway, yeah, Monty Python. Those are just classics, all of them.
What's your favorite sketch comedy, Joe?
A sketch comedy show. I mean, I'll say Monty Python.
Yeah. I'm new to Monty Python, but I do love the animation segments.
Yeah, I grew up with Monty Python, so yeah, that's. I would also recommend Faulty Towers. That's the sitcom that John Cleese did after Monty Python. It's about him playing the character Basil Fawlty, and him and his wife own a hotel with all these like crazy characters live in, and it's really funny. Not as funny as Monty Python, but still really really funny.
Who's the guy with the long hair? He's the one who gets crucified at the end of Life of Brian.
I don't know. Does he have blonde hair? Or?
Yeah.
That's Graham Chapman, I think.
Graham Chapman. I keep forgetting his name.
Mm-hmm. He's one of the only, like, probably one of the 4 that I remember names.
Yeah.
But I want to talk more about creative process stuff.
Sure.
I was walking around the Midway Mall yesterday, and I like to think I was like thinking about. I mentioned last time about like starting a studio just in the mall. I don't think that would work like practically, but it would be nice to have a studio set up there or just any of the abandoned buildings. Those are probably
just squatting there.
In my mind, they're cheap, but like in reality, they're probably more expensive than I can imagine to rent out. It's probably like $20,000 a month.
Bet you it's pretty expensive to rent there because of all the local businesses.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Make a studio out in the woods, just like make a cabin.
Yeah, I was gonna say like if it'd be all right with you, then we could like set up a studio set up at your house if you have any spare rooms.
We don't have any spare rooms.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So right now, I just have my second bedroom set up as a studio. With
I have a dumb idea: converted a greenhouse into a studio.
Yeah, you could do that. I don't know of any greenhouses around here.
There's a greenhouse that we don't use currently.
Oh, your greenhouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't used it in years, and if I could maybe somehow...
It'd probably get really, really hot in the summer.
No, I mean, like, not make it a greenhouse because we don't have paper on it. We just have the frame.
Oh.
And my idea is that somehow, when I get a job, I'll save up money to buy supplies. Somehow fucking make a roof for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you need, like, outlets, though, for... like if you wanted to set up a computer thing there, unless it was all just like drawing stuff.
Yeah.
You could probably like, just put up like some ceiling stuff there. I mean, I don't know that much about carpentry, so
I could look. I will. You know, what I could do look up my secret sources of like local areas that are renting space cheap, cheap space. Go to fucking drug den in the middle of like fucking, I don't know, Wellington. Just walk in there, just like, you got... Oh, no, you're going from a crack house around the corner. Oh, look. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you could set up a drawing studio in a crack house.
Yeah.
You get, like, figure drawing models there. They probably already have, like, most of their clothes off.
God, here's what you do. You use the crackheads to keep your art safe from plagiarists. Some guy comes in there to steal the script of Yesterday Kiss. You know, get them, tweakers! Get them, junkies!
You put like a tracking dart in his thigh, so you know where he's hiding it. Then it's like a Dropbox where you like just if you need the backup copy, then you go hunting him down.
I'm just picturing like he runs into a moat and the meth head comes out, but it's like an alligator sound. Like, God. There's a few crackheads in my family on my dad's side, of course, but I've only met one meth head in my day. You want to know how big a meth head he was? He had a tattoo of a spoon on his shoulder, and I didn't get why. It's because it's so that he could, he used to go...
I really like cereal.
Let's hope so.
Is this Rice Krispies? He's snorting.
You gotta eat the spoon versus the Rice Krispies.
Snap, crackle, pop.
God. I honestly... My God, the six-legged spider tattoo is almost as good as a spoon. Do you know why it's a six-legged spider?
Rhyme me.
My dad didn't know spiders have 8 legs. And
I thought it was some gang thing. But
no, my dad didn't know that spiders had 6 legs. Neither did the guy giving the fucking tattoo.
Well, I mean, it's easy to correct. You just draw 2 more lines.
Yeah. Also, do you know where he got this tattoo? Fucking prison. So that probably means that it was a pin that the guy got some marker ink on. I was like, okay, be careful. You might get hepatitis ABC on this. God.
I mean, at least you don't get the coronavirus through... I mean, you probably do, through needles.
God. I heard it's a coronavirus.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. They're calling it the what's the
The
fucking
yellow
name?
flu, the Wu flu. That's one of the names for it.
Ken.
Yeah.
Ken would be probably a really good guy for I was thinking about this for referencing martial art for comic drawing.
Yeah.
He was talking about training as a black belt.
Yeah, they got books right here
true.
about martial arts. You can look up references online. You can even pay for references, like high resolution pictures. I don't really need the high resolution stuff, so all the stuff I needed, I just got off of Google.
Yeah, so do I.
And also the Clip Studio, they have the 3D poser model that you can. Yeah.
Oh shit.
You even have custom poses or they have the pre-rendered, pre-composed poses.
Can you affect the lighting on it?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, cool.
You can also put a filter on it so it's just black and white. And yeah, it's really useful. If you don't know what angle to draw your character at, or if you need a character sitting down and then yeah, if it's something you need to for me, it's if I need to get it done really really quick, then I'll do something like that.
I remember you had used the post.
Yeah, I did that for Orca, the poster for you, and I mean I try not to rely too much on it because in some cases
I believe that the artist eye is better than the digital eye.
Yeah, in some cases it can look really stiff if you're just going completely straight from the reference. So it goes back to what I was thinking about my comic, is that I've been meaning to just get back. It's really taken a lot out of me for some reason, and it goes back to just not feeling creatively filled or whatever. I just would like to I don't know, I want to pace myself but not take too long.
Concept for it would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a comic shop that had a space for a little studio in the back.
Yeah.
We could make a deal hey, bro, we could make comics at your comic shop.
Yeah, I know that the Infinite Monkey, which we, I guess, kind of named our podcast after, it closed down, a couple months ago?
Yeah, broke my heart.
Late last year. If we wanted to, I mean, it probably cost a shit ton to rent in Oberlin.
Oh, yeah, you exquisite squire, that they talk in Oberlin for their socialites.
Mm-hmm. But if we had a shit ton of money, then we'd probably be able to rent that out. I mean, this is all just man, I wish, But
this is before one of us fucking finds a golden a chunk of gold or some shit hey, look, I found a fucking gold rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kill the other one for it, and then it's the Telltale heart, but the Telltale who draws on your comics.
Yeah. Remember this one picture that I reposted on Twitter retweeted. I don't repost stuff. I'm not a degenerate, but it was one of the two astronauts out in space, but it shows Ohio on Earth, and the guy's wait, it's all Ohio? It's always been all Ohio. And he points a gun at him.
Ohio's just that's why I always set my weird stories in Ohio. Mm-hmm. I want to write a collection of stories called Ohio Bound, with a whole reveal. Ohio was built as a trap for Cthulhu monsters. That's why there's so many Waffle Houses here.
Yeah. I mean, I just write all my stories in Ohio because I've never been anywhere else. Or in recent years.
That's my actual excuse, but I'm in a season for Cthulhu when it sounds fancy. Like Stephen King, sitting there with a little fancy cigar.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
Not really.
Yeah, me
I'm
neither.
talked out.
Yeah. And I guess we can end it here. This has been the 69th episode of the Monkey Bar.
Nice.
I've been Tony.
I've been Zach.
And this is, as I just said, the Monkey Bar.